After allegedly stabbing Tristyn Bailey more than 100 times, accused killer Aiden Fucci was quoted as saying, "How is that my problem?" Well, now a jailhouse conversation may have given defense attorneys an additional problem to defend their client against. Let's look at what happened in Jacksonville, Florida's Duvall County Jail. A few days ago, state prosecutors disclosed even more evidence against accused killer Aiden Fucci. You'll remember he was tied to the brutal murder of Tristyn Bailey, a 13-year-old schoolmate and student athlete. Bundled in the new evidence provided through discovery are phone calls made by fellow Duvall County jail inmate Antoine Scott, a guy known on the street as Freddie Pandy. Well, hey, please take a moment. And while we're talking about this case, hit the like and the subscribe button. Ring the bell so that you're notified when we release videos like this one. Now, let's get back to the story. News 4 Jacksonville reported that prosecutors plan on releasing content from those recorded jailhouse phone calls. And I'm finding a lot more interest in what's not being said. So let's take a moment and watch that report.
Did the Aiden Fucci case point to a surprise witness? Fucci is the teenager accused of killing 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey in May, charged as an adult with first-degree murder. News 4 Jax reporter Brittany Muller is live outside the Duvall County jail where Fucci is awaiting trial because the St. Johns County Jail does not have a juvenile holding area. So, Brittany, what have you learned new about this new evidence in the case?
Targ, Joy, we do know this is where an inmate named Freddie Pandy made a call, and since all jail calls are recorded, that information has since been entered into evidence, but we don't know what was said. The St. Johns County State Attorney's Office has turned over more discovery material to 14-year-old Aiden Fucci's defense attorneys, including a phone call Duvall County jail inmate Freddie Pandy made. Why would prosecutors be interested in this conversation?
A lot of times inmates will talk to each other. Sometimes they'll make confessions. Sometimes they'll make spontaneous statements. And if something like that happened, and this particular inmate who made the call repeated that, because those lines are recorded and they can use any and everything against a person. News 4 Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says since investigators took what Pandy said into evidence, it shows value for the prosecution. We don't know if they're using informants. It could be someone that Fucci befriended once he got there, or it could be somebody that he knew once he got inside. And they had a conversation, and that conversation possibly was repeated. Fucci will be tried as an adult for first-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, who was found on Mother's Day in the Durbin Crossing subdivision. The autopsy report confirmed Bailey was stabbed 114 times. Many of those were defense wounds. Fucci's knife was found in a pond nearby Bailey's body. Detectives investigating the case found not only bloody clothes and sneakers in the bedroom of her accused killer, but also a notebook containing satanic drawings of a violent nature. Friends told investigators that Fucci said he was going to kill someone by stabbing them, and it was going to happen soon. Those threats were never passed on to deputies. Confronted with evidence hours after Bailey's body was found, Fucci admitted he pushed Bailey down after kissing her. She hit her head, then he said he walked away. Aiden Fucci has waived his appearance for arraignment, and so did his mother, Crystal Smith, who's charged with tampering with evidence. They're both set for pretrial hearings on September 1st. Reporting live tonight from the jail, Brittany Muller, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, inmate Scott has apparently shared some really important information on the phone, and I think he had to have been talking to somebody other than law enforcement. Frankly, law enforcement would have gotten their own recording and not needed to take this from the sheriff's office. But what they've gathered clearly points to Fucci's case. We know this because prosecutors pulled the conversations from jailhouse recordings. This inmate doesn't appear again to me to be talking to official sources, friends or relatives maybe. Now, I didn't know if you'd like to know this or not, but detention centers, jails, post signs that warn inmates that any phone conversation they have is going to be recorded. I'm flabbergasted why inmates continue to do so, but they regularly share information that they'd never want a judge or a jury to hear. I guess they get frustrated and they simply forget. Perhaps they simply ignore the big sign that's posted that says phone calls are being recorded. Now, some of these offenders may even assume that the sheriff's deputies or prosecutors just won't take the time to review those prison conversations. But they do, folks. I've personally listened to hours and hours of inmate conversations recorded from jailhouse phones. Almost every jail, including Duvall County, will allow inmates to contact pre-approved friends and family members' phones by calling collect. This is typically the most expensive way to contact people out of jail, but it's sometimes the only way they can do it. In many cases, it requires credit approval or a deposit to be made, and the jail has to approve who those conversations are going to be with. These conversations are recorded, unless, of course, it happens to be with the defense attorney or the defense team. Well, now Fucci has to contend with whatever the inmate shared. Undoubtedly, it's information from a jailhouse discussion. It makes me think of Fucci's comment as he sat in an interrogation room at the sheriff's office with his mother before he was ever charged. They were looking for Tristyn, and his mother advised him that they had found Tristyn's badly injured body, and Fucci's response was simply, "How is that my problem?" Well, Mr. Fucci, evidence from this inmate, as well as other evidence and a new witness that was announced this week in the form of a St. Johns County fire rescue paramedic, along with the 250 plus potential witnesses in this high profile case, is quickly becoming you and yours and your defense team's problem. Well, folks, here's my question for all of you. How do you feel about law enforcement having the ability to record all inmate conversations? Of course, excluding those that are to their defense counsel. I'm going to really enjoy reading your comments down below, and I want to thank you again for supporting us at Profiling Evil. Please, again, take a moment, hit the like and the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified on our videos. And watch for the pretrial hearings that are coming up on both Aiden Fucci and his mother, Crystal Smith, who you remember was charged with witness tampering. Those pretrial hearings are scheduled for September 1st, both on the same day. Well, we'll see you soon at the next crime scene.